Okay, geometry 4-4 congruence of triangles. So if I have two objects that are congruent, let's say, uh, let's just say I make an object, and I go ahead and select that object, and I copy it, and I paste it. Notice this is exactly the same thing, right? So these two things are congruent. They're both the same, right? Gotta be. I just copied and pasted it. So we use this like this. Congruent. All the sides are equal. That side's equal to this side, this side's equal to that side. But I could do this. I could say all the sides are identical since this is a regular pentagon. So I can do that. And then all the angles are equal. So then if all the sides and all the angles are equal, all these angles are equal, all the sides are equal, then we can be sure that these two objects are congruent, since every dimension or every physical feature of this is equal to the physical features of that. So that is what makes congruence. So in triangles, same thing, since we got three sides and three angles, if all three sides, corresponding sides are equal and all corresponding angles are equal, then we can be assured that the two triangles are congruent. So we say triangle ABC is congruent to DEF. And then we also make sure that A corresponds to D. The order is very important. The A and the D correspond to each other. Notice A and D correspond, and the B and the E correspond. B and E have two things. This has two things. And then the three things for C and three things for F. See that? So that matters. It matters that AB, this AB here corresponds to DE. See that? DE. So you'll be asked three separate things, like complete each congruent statement by naming the corresponding angle or side. So DC. Well, DC is the same as KL. You see that? DC goes, D is in the, and the K and are D, so I could just put KL here. KL. Because the K corresponds to D and the L corresponds to C, or you can look on the thing. D has three things, and the K has three things, and the L has two things, and the C has two things. So this corresponds to that. See that? And we can't actually say LK. This is correct. This isn't correct. I mean, it's correct, but I guess, yeah, it'd probably be okay to say that, but it's nicer to say put the corresponding letter in the corresponding right spot. See that? It's more correct to say KL. Because K corresponds to D and L corresponds to C, or C corresponds to L. See that? Mark all the angles and sides of each pair of triangles to indicate that they are congruent. Okay, so I'm gonna make this bigger and move it over a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark H. Well, H is this, and J is that, right? And I guess I'm gonna go littler. And then I, well, that's the two things, and the T has two things, right? And then this has three things, and this has three things. And then the HI, that's the first one. JT is the first one. This is the second one, right? This is the third one. So they want something like that. They want the first angle. This is the first angle, right? This is the second one. This is the third one. Second, third. See that? Okay. Then write a statement that indicates that the triangles in each pair are congruent. Okay, so A is this one, right? In between these two. So that'd be C. So A, well, let me make it thicker. I guess I can make this thicker. Now, let's use blue, yes. So A corresponds to C. And then if I go to B, well, C goes to B. So we go B and B. See that? And um, then B goes to D. B goes to D. And so A goes to B to D back to A. A, B, D. And this goes C, B, D. C, B, D back to C. You see that? This corresponds to this one, and the B corresponds to itself, and the D corresponds to itself. So, it's very simple. Well, not simple, but that's the way it's supposed to go. Then this one, well, you can start with anything. I mean, you can start with the I. You don't have to start with E, because it doesn't matter. As long as, like, I can start with I, so the I corresponds to self, right? But then you gotta choose. Well, I'm gonna choose to the H here. So I'm gonna go H here. Well, I'm going through the two things. So I have to go through the two things here, so I gotta go to the F. And then I can't go to the G. Because this one went through I went this path here. I went this path. So and then I have to go this path here. So I have to follow IHE, IHE, and then IFG. See that? So there's the order of the letters matters. Okay, I hope that's clear. I think it's pretty clear. I have had German students have had trouble with this. It's just figuring out which one belongs to which. Okay, good luck.